this is the Peugeot 205 GTI. Back end wanted to go there. Which car is better? The Renault 5 or the 205 GTI? This is the Peugeot 205 GTI. It ain't the 1.6, it's the 1.9. Now, these things started production in 1987, producing a mere 130 ponies, but don't be fooled, it only weighs 910 kg. Let's bring you around to the interior. Both the GTI and the Renault 5 GT Turbo got finished with these red carpets to match the red stitching, the red accents on the steering wheel and the gear knob. I mean, come on, what is not to love? Ooh. I mean, come on, that is a clean bay. I was expecting it to be a bit dusty and crusty underneath here, but man, that thing is clean. A very, very well taken care of example. Now, it's a bit wet outside, but we are still going to be putting it through its paces. Let's take it out. So, Redline have brought us back down to drive some more of their motors. We've got the Quattro, we've got the 205 GTI 1.9, we've got an R32 swap Jetta, and we've got a Mark 1 Golf GTI outside. So make sure you use the code Jordan10 on Redline's website to get 10% off all ticket sales on everything that you see here and more. This is the Peugeot 205 1.9 GTI. Now, a lot of people do prefer the 1.6, but unfortunately, that's not what's involved in this one, so we're going to review it as the 1.9. As a first impression, it's nice, you know, it doesn't handle massively different than a Campus or a Renault 5, that is, but I am in the wet, so comparison is sort of out the window really, because this isn't going to be able to put power down as good as it would in the dry, but we're going to give you the review anyway. Now, if this is on standard suspension, which I think it is, it's set up pretty stiff to be fair. She's got some heat in her now, so let's go and put her through her paces. Handling wise, ooh, she does it so well. Normally the back end on these kicks out pretty bad, but right, here we go. Now, compared to the GT Turbo and other Renaults of this era, which they were all fighting against one another, I do think that the Renaults feel faster, but that will only be because of the boost that comes out of them. Let's talk about the car now we are sat in some traffic. It's a little nipper to be fair. They're quite torquey low down, which I do like. You're still getting that oomph, not necessarily what a turbo would give you, but you're getting some oomph where you can take it out the corners and a bit of poke, you know what I mean? Back end wanted to go there. She sounds lovely. Who needs windscreen wipers? Woo! Jesus! Ooh! I mean, considering we are in the wet, She handles nicely. Nicely. Now, I'll be honest with you, everyone says these are better, everyone says the Renault 5s are better. From driving this for that short period of time, I do think that they're two completely different cars. I don't think you can necessarily compare them on power delivery. Handling, yeah, I'll go as far to say that they are very similar handling wise. They're both extremely light. I think these are a touch heavier than the 5s, but I think that is because this is the 1.9. Now, when I said they're uncomparable, let me explain. The GT Turbo is running a 1.4 turbocharged early 80s technology. So if you've never been in a car like that, I'll put on screen what it's like. Let the boost load, let the boost load, let the boost load, let the boost load, let the boost load. You put your foot down and the power is almost non-existent until the boost 30 seconds later decides to load and then hits you like a shovel to the face, mate. I recently drove a Renault 21, I think it was, 21 turbo for Redline that had been messed with, which was around 230 brake, and that thing shifted. When I'm saying the power delivery is different, I'll put two clips side by side of you, I'll pull down here from me in this now and the turbo. So I'm possibly around just over 20 mile an hour. Oh no. Now, hopefully you can see from them two videos the difference in power delivery. This is gradual. This is perfect for on the twisty roads, you've just come out of a bend, you're high up in the RPM, it's got that poke to get you out, but not spin the front wheels up and send you into a bush. Whereas the 21 Turbo, for example, will. The 21 Turbo will put you into a bush. You'll come out of bend, you'll go to put your foot down, that boost will take 10 minutes to load, and when you're not ready for it, when you was ready for it 5 minutes ago, the boost will hit, and it'll just spin the front wheels up. Now, this is where I'm saying that they're two different cars, uncomparable. One's boosted, one is NA, and I've always found it odd how people compare a similar car, a similar hot hatch, for example, like the Renault 5 and the GT Turbo. Oh, this one's better, that one's better. I think that they're own two different cars. Yes, they came out at the same time. That is a nice Porsche, that. Yes, they came out at the same time, but ultimately, they're not the same cars. One's boosted and one is NA. So, where's the comparison, really? The only thing that I can compare them on is how they handle, and they both handle extremely well. French cars always have. French cars from possibly the probably the late 70s to the early 80s was when they really became into their own. They came into that hot hatch era. People gave the engineers too much freedom, and this is what was made. This is why cars nowadays are so shit, because you've got such strict rules on safety features. These have none. What technology they should have to please people, this has very limited. What emissions they need to produce. Back then, emissions weren't even thought of, and now just because some billionaire decided that global warming was a good idea to pitch to everyone, now we're rolling around in cars that are 120 ponies for no reason other than Bill Gates has said, yeah, global warming's bad. I blame the turtles. I blame the turtles, man. If the turtles hadn't piped up about them straws, we'd still be cruising about in shit like this. Which car is better? The Renault 5 or the 205 GTI? They're incomparable. They are truly incomparable. Again, the only thing I've got to go on is the weight factor of it. The power delivery is completely different. I will go as far to say that the 205 GTI is the driver's car. Now let me expand on that. It's all with the power delivery. I am a big NA fan, and even though the GT turbos look better, in my opinion, I think that this would be a better driver's car because of the way it delivers its power. The 5s, especially when messed with, are just not great for drivability, really. They're a great car to have fun in, spinning up, all that sort of jazz, but power delivery wise, they're not great. And let's take this out for a spin. 0 to 60, let's go. There we go. 60. Now that got to 60 pretty quickly, to be fair, even though we did spin up right down there. It was just first second it was spinning up. If that was a GT turbo, we'd have been spinning up until we was in third. We wouldn't have made it to 60 without the tyres being put down. It's a hard one to judge this, to be honest with you. I always do my scores at the end, but I've not really been able to put it through its full paces. I do think these cars are incomparable to the GT turbo, but ultimately I do think that this feels like a better driver's car. 7.5 out of 10.